So, of all the things you can buy based on a review for your bike, probably the most pointless thing to read a review on is a saddle. And that is because while one person thinks it's the best saddle ever, could be an absolute nightmare for you. And unfortunately, the only way to find the saddle that is right for you is by trial and error. And there are so many variations. There are variations in saddle material, in rail material, whether or not there's a cutout in the saddle, pressure relief. Again, some people that's a godsend, other people really can't get comfortable with it. You've got super lightweight saddles with titanium rails that cost a fortune and weigh next to nothing. Experimental sort of weird lightweight saddles which are becoming more and more common now with 3D printing. But to take someone else's advice on a saddle is pretty much pointless. I mean, I've tried saddles of all kinds of cost and make and brand, and I've gone through fittings with the ID match system and specialized body geometry and other ways of measuring your seat bones and all that kind of thing, and it's purely trial and error. And the saddle that I've ended up with in the end is that charged spoon there, which is a £20 or £17.99 these days cheap saddle, and that's after trying saddles that some have cost over £100. It's just not something you can look at a magazine review at 9 out of 10 and assume that's going to work for you, because the saddle is, out of everything on a bike, I think a saddle is the one thing that is completely down to personal preference. I mean, if I recommended that saddle to my friends, because it's taken me 20 years to find the right saddle and it's perfect for me, doesn't mean it's going to be perfect for my friend if I recommend it to him. Everybody's needs are different. It's nothing to do with budget. You could buy a 150 quid saddle, it could be the most uncomfortable thing in the world. It's not one of those things that gets better with price, really. I think it gets lighter, but it doesn't get better with price. I mean, like I say, £17.99 for a charged spoon, and it's the most comfortable saddle I've ever used. So I'd be interested to know what saddles you've tried and what you get on with and what you don't get on with, and just your opinion, really. What do you think? It's one of those things where people spend a lot of money trying to find perfection, and I don't think it helps. With the extra cost you gain in carbon rails, you're losing weight from the saddle. Technically the materials might be nicer, but functionality wise, I don't think it's one of those problems that can be solved with money. It's a case of going through the trial and error process of trying 20 different saddles until you find the one that you like. And I've amassed a collection of saddles through the project, obviously, and I do say to my local clubs and local riders that they're welcome to borrow like a saddle library, if you will, to try different saddles out to find the one that fits them, because it can be an expensive business, and in the end the cheapest saddle you try might just be the best.